Thank you so much for coming. This is an incredible crowd for our closing show of Loneliest Bird. We're super excited to share this with you. Before we get started, there are just a couple of housekeeping things we need to go over. The emergency exits are to the sides, to the back, and the restrooms are behind you in that direction. If you could please silence your cell phones. This show is 30 minutes long and there will be no intermission. And there are 2 sequences of flashing lights. Before we get started, we'd also love to thank Lisa Iaconelli for the use of her space, Philip Merritt for mixing and mastering our tracks for the show, and to Jon Hobus for helping us make pretty much everything you're about to see, and Town and Gown in the second stage program for letting us put on this awesome show here. The next show you can see at Town and Gown is called Emily La Marquise de Chalet Defends Her Life Tonight, and it's directed by an amazing person, and I think it's going to be a great show. And if you have decided that is your time in the spotlight, auditions for our next show, Bright Star, are happening in April. And if you want to give back to the theater but you don't want to be on stage, we also have opportunities to volunteer in the box office and doing concessions. And so there is a place for you here, and we'd love to have you so much. It's such a great place. Raise your hand if you've been to a puppet show before. It could be a lot of you. It could be some of you. I can't see it. So for those of you who might need a little refresher, puppet shows are very energetic, meaning if something is happy, send us your happy energy, be excited. If something is sad, we would love to hear you go, "Aw, that's nice." Maybe we'd love to hear you go, but a little bit about this show is that we started writing it in May. The writer of the book is here. I can't see you, but is you woo? Woo! Yeah, so he started writing it, and then he sent it to me, and I wrote the music for it, and I had the pleasure of directing this beautiful show. How many times can I say that? The cast of this show, most of them have never touched a puppet in their life. So it is so exciting to see their progress, and they are truly doing a beautiful job. I'm so excited for you to see it. I gotta get off this stage. The show uses a few different types of puppets. So we use a modified Ningyo Joruri puppet, and we're using some marionettes and some shadow puppets. And if you just got really excited when you heard me say that, and you're between the ages of 6 and 13, there is a puppetry camp this summer at Merritt Music Academy. And if your heart just broke a little because you're now between the ages of 6 and 13 and you really want to play with some puppets, our Greater Athens Puppetry Club starts on March 16th, and we'd love to have you there as well. And I believe that is it. Thank you so much for coming and
Welcome to Manor Island, a small desolate landmass only 3 kilometers off the southwest coast of New Zealand. But with sheer cliffs on all sides, it is difficult to get to and from. For decades now, there has been a veritable conservation effort on this island, home to many rare plant and animal species not found anywhere else in the country. Since the 1980s, conservationists have successfully expanded the once lost biodiversity, but there is always more work to be done. This is Nigel, the gannet. The first one to set foot on the island since the 19th century. Gannets are seabirds that primarily build their nests along cliffs. These mannequins were placed along the cliffside to entice them to build their nests here. Of course, Nigel doesn't know any of this.
Sort of reminds me of Andy.
Nigel has successfully wooed the bird of his affection. Nigel sets to work on building his lover's nest. Though they have no eggs, to him, Helen already takes her motherly duties very seriously. She had chosen her nesting spot long before her mate. Nigel becomes very picky about the quality of seaweed with which he builds her nest. Helen is the most beautiful gannet on the island, and Nigel the luckiest. Well, this is the only way he knows how to prove it. Nigel continues to look after his wife in the years to come, bringing her fish to eat, constantly improving her nest, and making sure to guard her from the cold nighttime winds. He expects at any moment a family, young ones of his own to raise and teach. He is doing everything right, after all.
Suppose that's supposed to be a storm. Uh-oh.
The conservationists closely monitor their latest experiment. Elated when the first gannet appeared and confident in their strategy, they would return to the island to regularly add or repair mannequins. But they never touched Helen because they knew she was well taken care of. But confidence wanes as weeks become months, And about 2 years into their experiment, not a single other gannet has attempted to call Manor Island their home. Until today. time weighs on Nigel. He cannot move as quickly or as far in his old age. The faster and larger fish now escape him, but he always makes sure Helen gets her share. While he still takes his nest maintenance just as seriously, he struggles to keep up with the elements at times. But a true masterpiece is never finished.